blorp. Alright, let's see if everything's working today. Can everybody hear me? Looks like it. My thing's making noise. Or moving. The bar's moving at least. Hello? Hello? I guess we'll see. Or everybody will ignore us like normal stream stuff, and then we won't find out until 3 hours from now. Anyways, welcome back everybody to Whispers of Hope, our Legend of Zelda based D&D campaign. I am the Dungeon Master Zom, and we'll start off with our intros as usual. Starting with Vivra up top.
It's me. Hi, I'm Retta, and I play Vivra.
Who's dying today?
Dying.
Apparently somebody has to be sick every time we played it, apparently.
Hey, I think we were okay last session.
Yeah. Demira.
I'm Jaxi. I play Demira, the weapon spirit.
I'm Sky / CeruleanxIris, and I play Akari, the Shiekah rogue.
The pause.
I play Akari, the
rogue. The pause of like, I play.
Who do I play today?
Yeah.
Who I want to play today?
My brain literally paused for a second.
Who am I
I play
again?
Kaya, the assassin.
Really to throw people off. Assassin.
Can I
What?
say which personality we going with?
Velkorin.
I'm AlistairForgall, and I play Velkorin.
And Miss Lumi.
I'm NibiNekomata, and I play Lumi, the Rito bard.
And I am Zom, the Dungeon Master. That's all you need to know for me, because I'm not important. Oh.
If you say that one more time, I'm gonna
good.
go downstairs and hit you.
Do it. Do it.
Do it!
That's 2 flights of stairs you have to walk down.
Do it.
2 flights of stairs.
Dude, it's worth it. It'll be worth it.
Trap. Now, if you guys all listen here. Ah! And you know what happened. Anyways, brief recap before we get started. My brain didn't work because it's been 2 weeks. The party has been kind of relaxing and de-stressing at the Lavender Fog Inn, which is Juniper's little pocket realm dimension that seriously appears in random places, apparently. For the most part, the party, like I said, we're kind of taking their day to relax before they head off to Death Mountain / the Goron City, etc. Well, last episode we found out some brief secret stuff, basically, about how Lumi came about getting this mysterious realm. Seemed to be through some magical tarot cards. Juniper, that's what I meant. I didn't say Juniper, I assume.
Lumi!
Lumi's got this. You got a magic thing now, apparently. Junie, not Lumi. Anyways, so yeah, found out about these mysterious magical tarot cards that Junie is collecting, and it appears that one of the cards created this world for her, and then a couple other cards had some other effects that she hasn't really messed with. But with that, after that, the other rest of the group, so Demira, Vivra, and Velkorin, I believe, were investigating the pole that Demira was feeling, assuming that this pole might have been the obsidian weapon that she's been looking for. Upon investigation, she found that the pole led her back to Iva, who was passed out, face down, ass up in the springs, kinda due to overheating and too much alcohol, etc. Mira took care of him and woke him up, as she tends to do, to try to get some more information, but didn't really get the information she might have been looking for before he left, and seemed to have some sort of mental block or such whenever they were trying to read his mind. Like a baby. He had like 3 full bottles of sake. Calm down. After that, the girls seemed to... What?
In a hot tub. Basically.
In a hot tub, exactly. Baby.
Yeah, when
All
you're in
right.
water, you don't feel it as much.
Yeah. Anyway. After that, the girls kind of had a bit of a fun playing dress up within the magical wardrobe that gave them multiple different outfits. And then, before they retired for the evening, Vivra wanted to give some information about her supposed ex-lover that he was.
I gotta word it like that. I mean, you're right, but
Ex-lover, current lover, I don't know.
well, hey.
Maybe, who knows? But with that small recap, we'll pick up there, and then I'll continue after that. So we'll pick up where the girls were having their girl talk. So at this point, I'll let Vivra take over for that.
Yeah. I'll do. My throat seems to be better, but my head is so fuzzy right now, so I'll do what I can.
No.
So I guess in a summarized sort of version, after the girls like get, you know, settled in, they probably have their teas and stuff or whatever, and more secluded, because they were like out in the open, I think, as well.
Initially, yes.
Yeah. As Vivra would start to talk about him, she would say that his name is Cardell, and she had met him towards the end of the Twili version of high school, and he was like the first person to be nicer to her after she lost her eye. As she went along, her family are farmers, so they don't earn as much as others, and Cardell's were more fortunate, and he would start helping her through college since she wanted to be a teacher. And he introduced her to his friends, and so she had a friend group again for a long while until the attack. She would kind of like jump a few years in her timeline to when the shadow beasts attacked and she went through the portal, and that's when she lost contact with everyone, him included.
Is this Demira's first time hearing about her portal thing, or did that come up earlier?
I think this is Demira's first time hearing about that.
Okay, so Demira's getting lots of new info.
Yeah, lots of everyone's getting, except for Velkorin because he's not here.
Yeah, this is girls.
She looks on sympathetically and with interest.
Yeah, that's the short version. I'm sorry that I can't really expand right now. I'm very short of breath.
No problem.
No time.
But yeah, short version, Cardell helped her through a lot of college, and they technically never formally broke up, so it's a gray area. But it's been for Vivra at this point, it's been about 3.5 years since she's seen him. But if he's been in the same time difference, for him it's been almost 5 years.
You stopped talking while I was eating my candy.
I'm sorry, you thought you had
Every time.
but you didn't.
I didn't. Every time. Bah. Anyways. Just a mini recap for that, because I know I wanted to clarify it for you, because you wanted to do that too. I guess before I also move further, did you still do your scry thing, or do you want to push that back because of your voice?
Who am I scrying on? I'd like to scry on Karn. I know we talked about potentially scrying on Cardell in this moment. If the others want to do that, that's cool.
Okay, before we get to that though, I'll just finish the rest of the recap, as well as before I forget, I have to do inspiration. that I almost forgot about.
I don't need it. Give it to
X.
someone
Everybody
else.
gets it today.
Oh.
Let's go.
Too bad. Everybody gets it. I don't need it. Too bad.
Give it to someone else. Dice, you got it.
You got it. Gives it to him. You get an inspiration. You get it. You get an inspiration. Everyone. Anyways, to continue on as the brief recap, which I technically jumped a thing, we had Demira, who looked into the mirror and found out some potentially interesting memories from the past that she definitely does not remember, which is interesting considering the memory reads the mirror shows memories of your past. As a recap of what Demira saw, she remembers being shorter seems to be hiding in a closet or a cupboard or something, peering out into the light, seeing two bodies on the ground with another body standing over them. The body standing over the other two seemed to be a woman with pale bluish hair, pale blue purplish hair. But at that point, the memory faded, and Demira was filled with a odd sense of fear that she couldn't explain, that seemed to not come from her, but still odd that she can feel anything in general. So,
And when you say woman, that implies an adult. So
it's a woman. That's all I'm saying.
So it was an adult.
Maybe.
Okay.
It was a woman / female that was taller than you at
It's
the
a
time.
very tall child.
It's just a Gerudo.
Some won't give me a straight answer on this because they'll be like, yeah, but you were maybe kneeling on the floor. You don't know how
You
tall
might have been
you were.
kneeling. You might have been 2 years old.
Like, so woman means adult, and Zom's like,
also,
no.
Aren't Gerudo like so tall?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Just ignore the fact that they have red hair. They might be wearing a wig.
Hey,
I don't know.
wait. What's wrong with red hair?
Nothing.
Oh no.
I have to
that it is not
be
purple
super
hair, that's all.
sarcastic with just to clarify this. I have to be extremely sarcastic with Jaxi, because otherwise she will guess all of my secrets off of 2 random words. I'll say X plus X is Y, and she'll be like, and then solve my entire riddle, and I'll be like, all right.
I've
Anyway.
done that to my friends so many times, and they're like, I can't tell you things anymore.
Exactly. So, anyways, continuing on for the recap, into the night, Demira had another mysterious vision while she slept, or whatever the version of Weapon Spirit's sleeping is, where she had a dream that she seemed to be walking within the lavender fog, holding a tray, before walking to the spring, seeing Iva and Akari. From that perspective, the person got frightened and ran away immediately to their room, and that immediate sense of panic and fear was pushed into Demira. And unexplainably, when she woke up, she was panicked, can't calm down, just stuck in a panic attack for some reason. That she seems to be feeling her emotions for some reason, which is odd because of the weapon. Velkorin comforted her for the rest of the evening, and that is where we left off for the evening, waking up in the morning and continuing on from there. Would like to... Well, fairies are help. Okay, the fairies are distracting Vivra, so I guess we can start off right away with Demira and Velkorin as they are waking up in the morning after snuggling at night because Demira was panicking.
Velkorin didn't sleep, if I recall.
That's right, Velkorin stayed awake. Forgot about that.
Exhaustion. Be tired.
He slept most of the night.
No.
Close enough.
Yeah, I woke up to That's right. I woke up to her panic attacking, didn't I?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as I got 4 hours, I'm good.
Freaking out, and then she started crying diamonds.
I'm rich, baby!
Aquamarine.
Gotta keep making her cry.
Oh no.
They disappeared after they fell off of her.
Oh, that's not nice.
Yep. Well.
Now I'm just gonna make her cry for fun.
Oh.
Damn, that's rude. Anyway.
Demira tends to wake up pretty early when she doesn't have 2 points of exhaustion. So now that we don't have so much exhaustion anymore, she probably wakes up pretty early in the morning. So let me see. I've lost my to-do list. Yeah, so she'll wake up and look around.
The early sun seems to be peeking through your guys' windows, which is still odd because it seems like Junie can control the time in this area. But hey, as far as you know, it's morning here.
And then is Velkorin still awake?
Wide awake. With a dead arm.
With a dead arm, because
With a
yeah,
dead arm.
Demira's just still in his arm with like, she's just got like cuddle spread out with like an arm over his chest, a leg over him, and her head on his chest.
Just imagine she's one of those people that would go and when she cuddles up, it don't matter if you're comfortable or not, she just gets comfortable like a cat does, and it's like, this is my spot, and you're like, well, now I can't move.
Like, I can't move now, and which is
because
ironic.
if I move, I'm going to give the cat anxiety, and the cat will go away.
The cat will go away.
And now Velkorin understands what it feels like to have no arms.
Oh no!
Great. If
This is what it feels like to be a torso.
If Demira starts moving around, finally, Velkorin will just look down. Good morning.
Good morning. I feel strange. Oh. Thank you. Thank you for comforting me and allowing me to stay here.
You can stay here whenever you need.
Oh, I'm sorry. And she gets off of your arm. She'll sit up.
Like, I just said you could stay. What's going on? What do you mean you feel strange?
Pardon? Both of you
What do you
talked
mean
about
you
the
feel
arm.
strange?
I think I don't know. There's something there that wasn't there before. I'm not sure how to describe it.
I will say, I'm confused. What do
As
you
am
mean
I.
there? As in emotionally, mentally?
Perhaps. I haven't experienced such an outburst of emotions like that before. And perhaps they weren't my own, but I felt it as if they were.
I know that she doesn't have all her memories, right?
Yeah, no, she has no memories from before waking up with the group.
I'll continue what you were gonna say.
I was gonna say, Demira is sort of thinking back on what she said, how much she talked about and stuff. She also thinks back and remembers when she used Detect Thoughts on Velkorin, and she saw a memory of his, of a child kneeling over 2 dead bodies. And she looks a bit upset all of a sudden and just, I fear I may have been insensitive in my outburst. I hope I didn't bring up something too sensitive.
He's gonna scoot. With his
Just
one
like,
arm
oh,
scoot.
sorry, I brought up my memory of 2 dead people and a person. I hope that didn't trigger your memory of 2 dead
He's gonna
people.
scoot a little closer. Yeah, yeah. He's gonna scoot a little closer because she did scoot away, and then he's gonna just put his hand on her shoulder. It's okay. You weren't insensitive, and you, like I said, you can come to me whenever you need. You can stay with me whenever you need to. And with these memories, or these things that you feel like are yours but you're not, it could be your old self finally starting to come back.
We'll make point to mention that even like as she's talking to you now, every other time Demira has talked to you, it's been very monotone, flat face, normal.
She got emotion.
She is starting to show emotion.
Thank you so much.
Express.
You've been so sweet to me for all of this. Thank you.
Everyone needs a little support.
Does
and
he
it's
look
good to know.
dead
Do I
ass
look what?
tired?
100%. 100%.
This man
I don't
never can get his
He
eyes
normally wears fucking makeup around his eyes, so like,
to hide his
like,
eyes.
don't have anything for that.
it looks like he's wearing his makeup, but he's not. Because he wears it's like Batman makeup where he covers around his eyes, right? So his mask, like it blends in when
Yeah.
he's wearing his mask, right? And it looks like he's just wearing makeup, but he's definitely not. He's just got the bags
He's
under his
just
eyes.
tired.
Oh, it looks like you didn't sleep well because of me. I'll go see if I can get some tea.
I slept well enough.
Bullshit. Insight.
He's gonna crawl out of bed.
Slide
Because it's like
out,
what? It's like a king size bed, right? And at this point, like we're like in the middle
like
of the bed.
Emperor-sized bed.
This is Alaska king size
Take a
bed.
5-minute walk to get
Like-
out of bed.
You gotta do like the spin, and he only has one arm, so he's gotta do it a couple of times.
Just
like-
rolling away.
It's like one of those moments where they definitely pan the camera away because it takes it's just not good to look at. Once he gets out of the bed, he will reach his arm in to help her. But breakfast does sound nice.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
He's gonna look over at his mess of fabric.
She'll... Go ahead.
I will probably need your help sometime soon.
She smiles. I would honestly be happy to. And then I assume we're gonna go get tea and something to eat.
Yeah.
I don't really need to eat, but
What is the rest of the crew doing? Well, you are awakening.
Akari would already be in the hall to find food, and her and Gigi are just eating breakfast.
I want to look at Karn if that's okay. See if I can.
Sure.
Because I actually have the scrying spell. I don't need the
Ooh.
ball.
Right. List of events. Okay, anyway. Yes. Try then. Go for it. How does that work again?
It's a saving throw, I think.
Neat.
But it can be like if the person knows they're going to be scryed on, they can choose to allow it. but he's not expecting it, so.
Jackie. We extensively know this person. That's a minus.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. This. You know this person, so the day save is definitely way.
Yeah. It's normally 17, so with the knowing them, it's 12.
Is your brother? So. Yeah.
I don't remember if I have something of his. I think I had something of each of theirs.
That's what I think we talked about along. I know you had the spear from Thorak.
Yeah.
I
think
talked
from
about it
Karn,
from other
it was.
two. But it been a book
I think
or
it
something.
was one of the. Yeah, I was gonna say one of the books, one of the journals or something.
Either way,
Either way,
as you
possession or garment would be a -4 as well.
anyway, as you cast the spell and close your eyes to try to find your brother, you feel the bright light as you can just feel your vision go miles and miles away, and zooms in close to a forest and then into a building, and you can see the familiar face of your brother, which I don't have up on me, so I'm gonna remember that I think he has the long red hair. Where's your thing so I can find that quick? I should have it ready.
If you go to Vivra Secrets and just search has image, it's
Nope, that's the other one. That's the act. Not your brother. Oh. There he is. Ah, no, he has orange hair.
he has orange hair with the little ponytail. and he wears
Orange hair
glasses.
and a long ponytail with glasses and the similar red eyes to at least one of Vivra's eyes. You can see him sitting at a desk, reading over a bunch. He's got a huge stack of papers on the desk that he is already looking very annoyed as he's reading his papers in his hand, reading something in one hand, and is writing on the paper in front of him and on the side as he's reading.
Can I see what he's writing, or have any context clues as to his location or something?
For the most part, like I said, while your vision was flying by, you saw a bunch of forested area, which at first it started to look familiar before getting very much not familiar anymore. You can make that assumption that he's probably in the forest to the southeast, which you would vaguely know through talking with some of the other people and through Okoku, that where the Twili that follow Minna, that's where their portal was to southeast.
Right, that makes sense.
Make the assumption that he is somewhere over there.
How different does he look?
From what you remember him, he doesn't look much different. Outside of, obviously, it's been about, also for you, about 5 years since you've seen him, so he does look a little bit older, but also really age a lot slower than normal people, so he does not look much different, just more grown up in a way.
Makes sense. I think Vivra just kind of watches what he's doing, and she'll try to see what he's writing or what's going on with the papers, but if she can use the full 10 minutes, she will.
You just make a random perception check for me.
Let's see. 21.
Right, you guys are level 10, so you're starting to roll gross. Or are you level 10 or are you level
10, yes.
10? Art.
Our proficiency
10,
bonus
yeah.
is +4 now.
Anyway,
And I'm not even proficient in that one.
for the most part, it looks to be lost. Word for it. Gone. It was right there and it flew away. Not logistics, but I lost the word and it's annoying me now. Daily, so if a noble had general knowledge of what's going on within their kingdom or whatever, like reports, a daily report is basically respondent, whatever, something like that. He seems to be taking information that he's getting from the stack of papers and condensing it onto the paper. So,
of course, he's organizing it.
for who, you have no idea, obviously. But that you can make from the assumption is he's reading the information that he's learning and summarizing it for a more consumable way for whoever he's writing.
I see. Interesting. Okay. And he seems to be safe, basically.
As
where
far
he's
as-
at least. He doesn't seem stressed or looking over his shoulder.
No. He looks tired, but not in the sense of he's being overworked or whatever.
Okay, cool. Then she will just look on. I don't think I have sending. Or at the very least, if I do, it's not prepared.
Mhm.
So... Because that would be the next thing, is she would... No, I cannot learn sending. Okay, good to know.
There you go.
That would have been the next thing. But she did send off a letter, so hopefully that shows up now that she knows he's okay and in a safe enough location.
Mhm.
Alright. I think that's everything for Vivra. She's just kind of checking on them. Still annoyed that she couldn't see Zant, but, you know.
Mhm.
It is what it is at this point.
With that, you see your brother for the few minutes while the spell casts and just kind of watch him do his work. But with that, the person is Lumi. What are you doing?
She has simply wandered off to go and have breakfast herself, so she probably joined Akari and Gigi.
When she sees Akari, she'll have a piece of toast in her mouth.
Yes,
Oh no,
Brilliant.
she's late. Late for school.
not running yet.
Watch out when you turn that corner.
Oh god.
Especially if there's a truck.
A
Wow.
horse and carriage.
And it's just a thing since the two of you guys are already out at the bar / restaurant area. It was something that maybe you didn't notice initially, but you can see on the countertop at the bar, you can see a small tip jar that has some green rupees, some blue ones. There's a wine-stained love note inside, an origami flower, and a purple rupee as well. And you can also see she had made a pot of tea for everybody, obviously, to take as they needed, and you can see actually wrapped up around that teapot now is a iridescent black sun snake that seems to be soaking up the heat from that teapot. And you can see Junie kind of off to the side, just kind of waiting until people wake up, but seems to be drawing something, sketching something. But she's asleep. No.
Minnie's gonna pet the little snake before she gets her tea, and then just out of morbid curiosity, she's gonna take that love note out of the tip jar and read it. She can't help herself.
Mm. And you're gonna take it and read it? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes, she's gonna read it.
I didn't answer. take it out. It is.
Can't tell them. Just make it up.
I know. It is.
Don't put a grabbable item.
I know. I was. Hey. Yeah.
That was like, that was fluff that you baited me with, and I
did.
took it.
I did unintentionally.
You got yes-anded.
I did.
In something you.
I did. I wasn't prepared. Jaxie wrote it for me, so I was like, okay, I'll just write this, and then no, somebody wanted to interact with it. Shit.
That's how D&D works.
I know.
Improv.
Of course, that's what I get.
Pretend that you have all the answers.
It now that you open it and read it, you see there is the obvious wine stain, but it is filled with a very, very tacky and poorly written love poem that seems to try to rhyme random words that don't make sense, and it's all
rhyme.
They do not know how to rhyme well, and they're trying to focus on just Uni's appearance, pretty much. So it's like it's like when you're trying to give somebody a compliment, but it comes off as an insult if you're not listening right.
Nibby, this is an important side quest that we have to follow.
So, one of the many, yeah, basically what Fred said. Roses are the rose color. Lilacs are lilac. I love them. Done.
Yeah, no, Lumi's going to laugh and just put that right back. Oh, the minds of drunken men.
Basically. I will say.
You're pretty. Can I get kisses?
Basically. But at this point, the other three that haven't joined up the party probably would be making their way to join up with everybody else now. Everybody seems to be together in the restaurant/bar area. Oh no.
Oh, don't read what I said. Keep
No.
going.
That's true poetry right there.
Your boobs are like beautiful eyes on your chest. Ah, Jesus Christ.
And they're looking at me, I bet. No.
Exactly. Why are you looking at me? Why are your boobs looking at me? Jeez. Anyways, now that everybody has joined up, he kind of pipes up and sees that all of you guys never got here, and she's like, I know you guys were trying to catch the other two, but unfortunately, seems like they snuck away in the night. I didn't even catch them. Which is odd, because usually, well, you have to turn in your key for one thing. But they just left it at the desk and somehow managed to sneak off before I could notice. So, sorry I didn't catch them, Mr. Iva and his companion. I know you guys wanted to speak with them.
Am I also in range of this?
Yes.
I'm assuming we're all at the bar for food and stuff.
Yes, that was me. As soon as you guys all managed to catch up or get together.
Miss Juniper, you didn't happen to notice any kind of rune on the companion?
When she came here with him, not that I noticed. He was wearing plain, normal Hylian clothes that covered it up pretty well, but didn't see anything that stood out outside of obviously her having obsidian skin.
Could you perhaps please describe her appearance in any other way? Her hair or her eyes? I would like to know what to look out for.
She did have a hood up, so I couldn't see much of her hair, but I did notice that her eyes had a deep purple that almost looked like amethyst. They were very pretty. And then outside of that, her skin, of course, was that obsidian, but for the most part, she was pretty well covered up, so I didn't get a very good look.
Were her eyes similar in color to mine or darker?
Jumps up and gets real close to you and is like way in your personal bubble probably. And she just kind of stares at you for a minute. They were definitely a bit darker than yours.
I see. That's good to know. At least it's a little bit more information.
Definitely, if they show up again, I'll definitely try to see what I can dig up this time, now that I know that this person seems to be a person of interest for you guys.
Akari gives off. Oh, sorry.
No, sorry, go ahead. That's all I had to say.
Did you say Akari just, well, mostly say she's just glad. Just says, I'm glad that at least no trouble happened while they were here, since never know what may go down when it comes to Yiga.
Yeah, it seems like he, for the lack of a better way to say this, was not performing his duties, or he wasn't on the clock, so to speak.
I see.
Or maybe he was, I don't know.
He
wasn't
didn't mention any specific region he was going to or anything?
Not really. I tried to get some information out of him, but he was being very coy for the most part. I was honestly surprised you guys were able to get as much information as you did out of him, so maybe he's a little more loose-lipped when he's drunk.
Oh, most certainly.
As most men are.
Lumi has a very thoughtful look on her face, and she's kind of tapping her cheek. You know, I could potentially let him know that I would have liked to meet his companion. I do have an interesting spell, and I know his name, and I'm familiar enough with him. Could just give him something to think about.
Demira's just kind of like eyes sparkling at you.
She pans very slowly to look at Velkorin, to kind of like, yes, no, question mark. Bad idea, ambivalent idea.
I mean,
I'm gonna
as
need you
long
to
as
repeat
you don't-
yourself. I just sat back down.
Holy smokes.
This
dude.
bitch.
Should she send a sending spell to Iva, yes or no?
She
If she doesn't
basically,
use her name, he won't be able to know who sent it.
no, he will. He recognizes her as the sender.
I'm going to
Well, then
say.
my other DM's a dirty liar.
I am going to say no.
Oh,
Mainly because we don't have any real information.
Lumi gives a thumbs up. All right. Sorry, Demira.
That's okay. I'm not sure if I would be prepared to meet that weapon spirit yet anyways, but I am eager to learn more.
Supposedly, they are quite rare. Stares through the fourth wall at the DM who keeps adding them every other session.
Hey. Because there's only
We should
20 in
be
the
able-
world doesn't mean you can't find all 20 of them in the same session.
And you're
Sure.
traveling with a living
them
metal
like
On an
detector.
God.
entire world. Oh my god.
Speed run any
You,
percent.
You've only met, like, 5.
It's been more than 5.
If there's, we can probably investigate. We now have the ability to send a message to them.
Met 5.
We can probably look into them to find more information, because if they've been traveling around, and no matter what, if they've been traveling around, there is people who have probably gathered information, or we can have somebody investigate as well if needed.
Yes, although I am interested in the weapon spirit for personal reasons, I am actually more concerned about Iva and which royal he is pursuing, because we are technically still working for Frederick and King Mikau.
I should have asked who, or at least what region. I simply was not thinking of that at the time.
I have a feeling he would have been tight-lipped about that at least.
Not with how drunk he was. Not with... And she kind of adjusts how she's sitting, not with him standing in front of him.
Hell yeah.
Just chuckles a bit in the background.
Lumi knows, she knows how to persuade.
Demira nods in agreement. Well, while we're all gathered, there are some other things I would like to talk to you all about. We could talk during the carriage ride or before we leave, whatever you'd like.
Well, if there anything that others shouldn't overhear, the carriage ride would be the most protected. But if it's general conversation, I think it works either way.
It's mostly about weapon spirits.
I think we probably stayed our welcome here, and we do have a lot of ground to cover. So if we can have this conversation on the road, it may be better.
Yeah, being on the road does help pass the time as well while talking about things.
Demira will nod.
Pipes up again, and where are you guys heading again?
We're heading towards Death Mountain.
Great.
I'm unsure where we'll end up when leaving this dimension, though.
Well, if everything goes well, you should end up closer than you were expecting. That's usually how it works, as long as people follow the rules. You have to stay at least one night. But we'll see what happens. But you mentioned it. You guys were going to Death Mountain. I have been reading up on Great Fairy specifically lately, and I did read something about there either used to be or still is, I'm not sure, it's an old legend that there's a Great Fairy of Valor was their name that lives on that mountain. And then he looks over specifically to Demira, and of course he created weapon spirits. Granted, that was agent.
Demira nods enthusiastically. I was hoping that I could meet them, but I don't know if they're still there.
Sure either, but hey, it's a small lead at least for you. Maybe see what you can learn while you're there. And at this point she looks back over to Lumi and says, and on the off chance if you happen to find the Great Fairy of Seasons, you better definitely let me know. Lumi a wink.
My darling, if I find the Great Fairy of Seasons, I will bring them back to you tied, bound, and gagged.
Perfect.
You guys are way too gung-ho about kidnapping a fairy.
Lumi was like giggling just a little bit at telling Junie that, and now she just straight up starts laughing. No, it's not. It's only partially kidnapping. Don't worry about it.
I don't understand.
Demira will start helping pack things up to go, and we'll also help clean up the dishes and stuff for Juniper.
All right. Not Lumi. Lumi's right there. I keep mixing the two of you up because you both end with M-I.
Lumiper.
N-I. Whatever. Junie obviously cleans up for the most part. even though you guys are trying to help. We'll say after you guys get all gathered up, cleaned up, ready to pack it up, they're good to go. After a few minutes, and again, she kind of speaks up for you guys again. Like I said, you guys stayed the full night to follow the rules of this realm, so like I said, hopefully you end up closer than you expect, but we'll see. Close a couple letters off. That'll end in the same accent, whatever. Lumi, not damn it, I did it again. Fucking Jesus Christ! Fuck. Is this what it's like to have kids? Is this what it's like to have kids?
It's foreshadowing.
Junie to Lumi just reminds you again, don't forget you have the key. Like I said before, it doesn't always work, but if you use an unlocked door, that gives you better chances to find me if you need to. Otherwise, so to speak, just like the way you got here, it'll just happen.
Well, I will see what Malice is able to tell me about making this a more streamlined process. After all, it would help get you more business.
That definitely.
She's gonna hug Junie before they leave.
Oh yeah, a big old bear hug between the two of you. Don't be gone too long, dear. You're always welcome here.
Well, I clearly have no say in it, but I'll do my best.
Right. Working on that. Smiles at the rest of you and just gives her a slight bow. Says, thank you all for coming. Hopefully you'll spread good praises of my inn here, and I will see you all as soon as you find your way back here again.
Akari smiles and waves while saying, for sure want to come back here. It's a nice relaxing place. Best inn I've been to.
It was a wonderful stay.
And she just kind of smiles again and kind of waits for you guys to take off or do your thing.
Just watching us.
Demira will go around to the stables at the back and feed the horses extra apples and stuff. Pack everything up.
Alright. You guys are all packed up, good, ready to go. You're leaving right away then?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. As you guys start to head off down basically the same route that you came in when you were going by, heading out towards the lavender fields. I keep walking, and then the place kind of shifts around you.
Before we go through the portal, I want to reach down and pluck a little sprig of lavender. I want to see if it stays with us or if it disappears.
Ooh.
As the world around you shifts and changes again, it's a lot more instant than I'm making it out to be, but you end up in a ice cream or boop. Didn't give me the right, whatever, that's fine. You guys end up in front of you're a good ways out from it still yet, but up in front of what looks like a village. Here would probably been here. Probably all three of you except for Vivra and Demira. Vivra's mostly stayed towards the desert/forest, but Akari, Velkorin, and Lumi have all been well traveled, so you are a good ways away, but you guys are towards the outskirts of Kakariko village, the Shiekah village that is not affiliated towards any of the royals. They're choosing to remain neutral until a true royal takes over, basically. And now that you know that where you are, actually, pop the map up. Or still. No, of course.
Uh-oh.
Quick. Show you how far you guys have gone. Figure out what it is. Here's my map. It's gone. Can I save it in one of the other tabs?
It should be, if you go to your Twitch stuff folder,
Yep.
it should just be at the bottom somewhere, I think.
Ah, thank you. World map.
You should know this.
Thank you. Boop. That's it. So, guys left. Pretty hard to see. You were in the Lake Hylia domain. You were towards the south end of it. And now that you are in Kakariko, you are pretty much right next to the Death Mountains itself, because Kakariko is right next to it. I wish I had a marker that I could do on the stream here, but I don't know how to do it. I do have
Pippin.
Pippin, where are you?
You've done this before.
I have. I'm sorry. Ah,
That's alright.
Pippin, where are you?
Pippin would be in NPC's
Yep.
folder.
I got him. Well,
You could also
Alright.
use the generic pink fairy too.
Yeah. So you guys went in around here. That's where Mikau's domain is. And now you are about here. So you've saved approximately a week's worth of travel in one.
Ooh.
So you guys are now up here. Very close to
It's like right at the base of the mountain,
yes,
right?
towards the end base of the mountain, basically. But like you are now. Oh, I did have. God damn it! I did have already have it on there. Didn't see it. But get rid of that one. All right. But anyways, you guys are about probably a half hour's travel to get into the village itself, but you can see it off in the distance at this point. So
Okay, that's a good amount of time to talk.
yes.
Is my lavender sprig with me or gone?
It is gone.
Oh.
It can't
No
cross
free
the
lavender
bounds.
hack.
Did say that
Interesting.
anything in the
Mhm.
plane could not leave, with the
Mhm.
exception of the key
Of the clothes.
and the
Oh, and the key.
Oh, I was gonna say, does that mean we're immediately cleaned of the effects of what we've eaten?
No, those stay with you.
Nope,
You just
those stay.
can't take the food out.
Mhm.
Interesting. Interesting.
Hmm.
But
After Demira kind of like peeks out of the carriage and looks around at where they are, then she tucks back in. I would like to share more about what I know about weapon spirits with you all. If that's all right.
Akari scoots closer with Gigi on head.
Well, ever since I first awoke in your company, my mind has been quite foggy, but I feel like I'm gaining more clarity in the past few weeks. I think that there were a few things I discussed with the Forest Guardian in Saria, and I think that I should share it with you all since we're now a group long term. I don't know why, but I feel a little bit nervous about it. But I suppose I'll begin. During our stay in Saria, I was able to speak with the Forest Guardian as well as the Deku Tree. And from what I can gather, a weapon spirit is created by either a deity or the Great Fairy of Valor, who we have heard about. Weapon spirits created by deities are very rare and don't require a soul. And they said I was likely turned into a weapon spirit by other means. The Guardian said that it is abnormal for me to have no memories of my life. That there's something different about me. Additionally, Eli and Esmeralda shared the opinion that I was not created by the Great Fairy of Valor. She looks a little, like, upset, and she's a bit fidgety.
Kari has a hand on under her like chin as if thinking about what was said there and thinking back on things. But also looking fidgety and stuff. If allowed, Gigi would try to kind of go to her lap and be
Oh.
comforting.
Yeah, Demira will start petting Gigi, and then she continues on.
Emotional support.
With a smile. The Forest Guardian and the Deku Tree mentioned a possible third, blasphemous method of creating weapon spirits. My experiences since then lead me to suspect the worst. I might be wrong. I fear I was created against the will of higher beings. And she's just like completely avoiding eye contact with everyone. She's just looking down at Gigi, and her hands are very, very slightly trembling. And it seems like this means a lot to her as an issue.
What do you mean against their will?
I don't know what the method is, but I am afraid that I wasn't created by the deities or the Great Fairy of Valor. I've been a person like you all in a different life, but I'm not anymore. I was nervous to reveal this information sooner. I was concerned that you would see me more as a person than a weapon. But you are all so kind. It was not long before you did so despite my efforts. I want to protect you, and that becomes difficult if I'm viewed as anything more than a weapon. Your bodies are more fragile than mine in many ways. I'm learning that it is challenging to be cared for, but it's not something I want to surrender now that I've experienced it.
Well, definitely can notice that. Before, when Demira spoke, most of the time, it was very, like I said before, very, not necessarily monotone, but not really expressing herself so much. Now it seems to be that she obviously is, because trembling as she speaks about this, or anything like that. So, very much, she's acting differently than the last few months you guys have been with her.
And then there is also, I should tell you about the pull. Weapon spirits can sense each other by the pull that they feel in their core. The Force Guardian says that, for me, my core is my rune. They warned me that I would feel drawn to my creator as well. If there's someone stealing Malice and Lumi's rune designs, then that person may have something to do with my creation. While we were in the Zora domain, I sensed that Malice's weapon and possibly Malice himself are also weapon spirits. Although Malice denied it, he may have reasons to keep that secret if true. However, when I treated his wounds, he was certainly bleeding. It is possible I am mistaken. I appear to bleed as well in my own way. And Malice was kind enough to warn me that the one who created me may be searching for me. And strangely, Iva as well evokes the same pull. And now I'm truly unsure of anything. If I was created improperly, then these feelings may be flawed as well. And I have experienced 2 strange visions now. The night before the coronation, I experienced a dream or a vision, I'm unsure. I was traveling with a man with long dark hair, and my skin was like polished obsidian stone. Last night, I believe I was reliving a moment that was not my own. Yet again, I was obsidian, and I saw Iva and Akari speaking in the bathhouse. Akari, could you please tell me in detail your encounter with Iva?
Hmm. Hmm. Let's see. I saw him and recognized the Yiga tattoo, so I kind of kept my guard up a bit. Then I kind of talked and asked questions just to kind of get an idea if it was safe or if he may attack me. Then I recall hearing something behind me and tried to check to find out what it was, but it was just a drop tray. And that's when I believe I ran into you going down the stairs when I was trying to find out the source of it, just in case it was admittedly a spire or something worse.
Yes, that confirms my thoughts on it, because that is exactly what I saw. In this vision or memory, I saw myself from the perspective of the obsidian weapon spirit again, and I was carrying a tray to the bathhouse. I saw you and Iva speaking in the bath, and when I, or the obsidian spirit, saw you, Akari, there was some sort of terrible fear that completely overtook me or her, and she dropped the tray and ran off. And, well, I believe it was panicking. It returned to its room and stayed there, and it was so overwhelming. I couldn't hear anything except for the sound of a heart beating, and I felt my chest tight, and I was breathing heavily, although I don't know weapon spirits that breathe or have hearts. But I woke up after that. Have you ever encountered an obsidian weapon spirit, Akari?
I was thinking about what you mentioned there, but as far as I can recall, I don't think I really had an encounter with weapon spirits besides yourself. But also hearing the trait as you describe weapon spirits as well, and then the heart beating and breathing even though they don't need to, I guess that does link up. Maybe there also was formerly a living human before, living being beforehand.
It's possible, yes, because I I experienced what it was experiencing even after I woke up, and I do not need to breathe, and I do not have a beating heart, but I found myself almost imitating breathing, and it's almost as if it was a type of placebo, I suppose. Perhaps some memory of being a human that is long gone.
Perhaps a lost memory that'll come back eventually.
But it is strange that the weapon spirits seem to recognize you, and with such a strong reaction. There is one possible connection, although I'm extremely unsure about it. I'm starting to believe that I may be connected to this obsidian weapon spirit somehow. There, clearly through these visions, there seems to be some connection, but I also looked into the mirror of memories, and I saw a memory that I don't recognize. There was only a sliver of light. It was so dark, and I believe I was hiding somewhere, perhaps in a closet. There were two adults, a man and a woman, lying on the ground, covered in blood. And then there was a third figure there, feminine, standing over them, also covered in blood. And her eyes are kind of like flitting towards Velkorin because she feels bad bringing this up again because of the similarities to his issues. But she continues on. And this third figure standing over them had hair that was, well, the same color as yours, Akari. So I wonder if I am connected to this spirit somehow. Perhaps that was their memory, or they share that same memory. And maybe they mistook you for that figure, just seeing you from behind.
Akari thinks on it more and more. So did they just have a similar hair color to me?
It was the only detail that I could make out.
And what did these... Well, actually, that wouldn't... If that's the only detail you can make out, it probably wouldn't make sense to know what the two figures look like.
No, I could not see them.
As much as I hate to think about too much in the past, I feel if they were familiar, I would remember them. Because my memory of that time is quite good, regrettably.
May I ask, do you remember the people that you've killed? Do you have siblings or other family members? Or do you know any other assassins who share your hair color? I also wonder, well, I, I may be, it may be rude for me to be asking you all of this, but I was also curious of how young you started.
She thinks on the questions. No to similar hair color as me or any siblings, as far as I know. As far as I know, I'm my only child. Unless maybe I just wasn't told that. As for how young I started, maybe when I was a teenager, I think. You gotta train, of course, to get to the level, make sure things go right. And I do, unfortunately, as much as I'm trying to kind of not let it affect me, do remember those I've, as you said, taken out.
Hmm. Well, I feel like perhaps there's no more information we can gather from it at this point. DM, I can't remember if I already asked this in a previous episode or not, but when I had my first vision traveling with the dark-haired man, was I able, like, it was blurry, but was I able to see, like, a specific color that he was wearing? Like, did he seem to be a red blur?
Only
Like
thing
Iva?
off the top, off the top of my head that I remember was, you remember the dark hair of the long dark hair. You were in some place that seemed to be covered in steam, and then the obsidian skin, the first one you look down.
Hmm. So Demira's just kind of like looking thoughtfully at the ground. I do believe that the man I saw in my first vision must have been Iva, since he is traveling with the obsidian weapon spirit. And he does seem to match the description. Also, I believe I could just barely make out steam, which means that they may have been, well, I suppose that could be many places, but it would surely be coincidental if they were in Death Mountain before they arrived at the Lavender Fog. She's just sort of thinking to herself out loud on that part.
And that happens to be where we're going now.
She
Well,
nods.
I don't know how we would ask people without, asking around randomly, but if it is that coincidental, then perhaps it would be even more coincidental if we ran into someone who had direct contact with them.
Most I can think of is perhaps, and that's of course if that's okay, since this first and foremost is a job we're going with Lumi for Malice. Maybe if along the way we see any hints or clues, or perhaps even that great fairy that was mentioned, maybe that can give an idea, more information.
So long as it doesn't jeopardize our main goal here for Miss Lumi.
He was doing work concerning royals. I think that is good enough for us to at least snoop around a little bit. We don't know who he was after. We don't want it to become a larger problem later on that we must deal with.
I agree.
I also agree.
And even so, if I was crafted to be lethal, then please allow me to repurpose that power to be your protector as best as I can. The Forest Guardian told me that I can choose my own path, and that is what I want.
You absolutely can choose your own path. Even beforehand, I didn't see you as simply some soulless weapon.
I do recall that, yes. Thank you.
Call it part of my own past, that you didn't seem heartless. And knowing that you may have had a human life beforehand seems to really add up and show that even more.
Thank you, Akari. A weapon spirit is able to bond with its wielder. That is something else I wish to tell you all about. I'm not entirely sure how it works, but the Forest Guardian had mentioned it. As we grow closer, I believe I will be able to assist you better with a stronger spiritual attunement. I'm enchanted with magic, so I'm unsure how that will manifest.
In that case, we'll think of some good team attacks to use when the time comes.
And lastly, I want to reassure you all again that so long as some of my pieces of my core materials remain intact, I believe I will be able to regenerate from them, and you needn't worry about losing me. I have entrusted Velkorin with an item made from those pieces. If you keep it safe, there's nothing to worry about.
That is reassuring to know.
We'll have to remember that.
Oops, dropped the ring in lava and dropped it in the volcano.
No. Oh, that's not what she meant.
No,
It was
just
more
joking
like in
about
stressful
people.
situations,
Yeah.
it can be difficult
Yeah.
to remember something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, we lost the blade, but we have the Velkorin. Where's the ring? Left it on the nightstand again. No.
My other arm got chopped off. My bad.
Oh, no.
Oh, God.
Whoops.
Terrible.
I have some questions for the rest of you as well, but
I forgot to unmute myself again.
How long have you been muted?
Like 2 minutes.
Holy smokes.
What would you like to say?
Well, I was gonna say Velkorin's being quiet, so I was gonna say, what is Velkorin thinking right now? Well,
Just
the information
drinking
he's
his
being told.
tea, trying to wake up fully. Just listening.
Okay. Keep your feelings.
Keep your feelings.
Yeah, right, you. Yeah, keep your secrets.
Keep your secret feeling.
There were some questions I had for all of you as well, but I understand we're getting close to the village soon, and perhaps you're fatigued from me speaking so much already.
Yeah, it's hasn't been that much. You're not so tiring that a few
It feels like
conversations.
forever when you're the one talking.
You're not wrong.
Minute.
I feel like I've been yapping for hours.
No.
No. Yeah, Vivra would kind of reassure, be like, you're not so exhausting that we can't handle a few questions.
She smiles and giggles a tiny bit at that. Thank you, Vivra. If any of my questions are unsuitable to speak about now, please feel free to decline. But since I was so foggy when I awoke, there are a lot of questions that have piled up that I never quite found time to ask about. Well, I had much earlier on meant to ask Akari about the blood moons, but you did explain some of it at the meeting now. I was wondering, though, is there anything I can do to help you during those times?
No.
Oh, no, in the middle of the day.
Now.
With the blood moon, I was admittedly not very savvy about it as much as I would like to say I am. Mostly I'm used to being alone, so it's easy to kind of deal with. I suppose if it hits a point where it's bad, I should try to isolate myself because I don't want to accidentally cause any issues for anybody else. But maybe that ring, after feeling it during the ball coronation, maybe that will help in itself because it felt like it did something when the last one happened.
Yes, you seemed much more yourself during that time. And at the coronation, with everything that happened, you mentioned that you mentioned that your mother wouldn't know you by your current name, and I heard her call you Taya in the fight. Is that your real name?
She sort of looks off to the side, goes, "Yeah,
No.
yes,
But do
it's
you
part of the
prefer
past I
Akari
left."
now?
I've
So,
grown to really like the name Akari, especially with everybody knowing me by it. Kind of just shows the new start I've taken to.
why'd you choose Akari?
Why did I choose Akari?
It reminds me of light.
That may have been the reason then. I believe I heard or picked it up somewhere and it just stuck.
Hmm.
Well, it suits you.
Yes. Um. Also, there was something peculiar in the fight. I was terrified that you would be gravely wounded, but a person appeared and saved your life. I was wondering if was that the party member who was here before me? And she's referring to when Lenora appeared.
Yeah.
Because we
Akari,
didn't talk about that.
yeah, they sure did not. Akari shakes her head no,
Mira
but
be like,
brings
we're
out,
talking about all this shit now.
Or just
But-
casually glossed over. I forgot about that. I'm glad you remembered.
she shakes her head no to the question of it being a previous party member, but she will bring up the mask from her side because he tends to keep it there in safekeeping, easy reach. It wasn't our previous party member, however, it was somebody close to them. It seems to have been an effect from the keepsake I've kept after we lost them, which honestly I didn't know it had that ability until that happened. So that was a really pleasant surprise. But also
Mm,
shows they're watching over us.
I'm happy to hear that they're still protecting you then. I was also wondering, Vivra, this may be rude, but I was wondering what happened to your eye because when I first met you, it was black and blue, and then when we were in Saria, all of a sudden it was missing, and then, before we had left, you disappeared for about a week, and you returned, and it was
A
orange.
week? Wait, it
Wasn't it like a week?
Well,
Yep.
yeah, but for Vivra, it was an afternoon.
Yep.
Oh, yes, okay. So
I don't
She's
think
just
we ever
now
brought that up
realizing this.
either.
exactly, nobody talked about this, so I'm like,
Nobody
I gotta
told
bring
me.
it up somehow. I was
So
wondering
it's like week.
where you were for that time and what happened to your eye.
Oh, well, I mean, the original story's not much to talk about. I told you guys about how I live on a farm. We have, we raise cattle and stuff there. One day, one of the bulls just got pissed off. We don't know why. It just went on a rampage, and I wasn't paying attention. I was sitting on one of the fences studying in my book, and I looked up and it was charging straight at me. I didn't have enough time to get out of the way before it got me right in my eye. I'm lucky that I survived, to be honest.
I'm glad that you did.
Yeah. I was gifted the blue eye a year later by the village shaman. And then when Okoku lost hers, I figured that it was, time for me to give it to her, after all she's done for me. And then a fox in the forest gave me this cloak, and it seems that the eye came with it.
Oh,
Yeah,
sounds very magical.
it was. I had to go through a trial for it.
I had no idea.
I'm not sure how you would. I wasn't exactly forthcoming with that information.
It's fair. Before we left Saria and you caught up with us, I recall you cautioning me about a note that was found with me. I would like to know more about how you all found me in the first place. And she looks between Vivra and Velkorin, mostly because they were kind of arguing about it before a bit.
Ooh.
I think Vivra will look to Velkorin and kind of tilt her head.
Velkorin will. Who has the note? You have the note?
You
gave
have
her
the
the
note. You shoved it in your bag.
Okay. It's been like a year, okay?
Yeah.
You have the note, Velkorin.
Who has the note? I got the note. You got the note. We got the note.
Everybody
note.
gets a note.
Hey, while you're digging the note out of your pack, you find a different note that you didn't know was in there.
Oh, look at
Again.
that. Well, put that one in a completely different pocket.
Huh.
Oh, wait. Okay. Do I know how to read the one that I didn't know was there?
The one you didn't know was there?
Is that the one
Yeah.
from Wither? I think he found it last time.
You did.
I'm pretty sure I found the Wither one already.
You did, but you still haven't read it yet.
Oh, so there's... Wait,
Mm.
Into another pocket.
how many notes?
Didn't Vivra find the note, read it, forget? Has she remembered yet? Or was that...
Vivra
she did
hasn't
remember it.
translated her note yet.
Right, okay. That's
You
right.
found it, but at that point you hadn't remembered yet.
The
So you just
only
found a note
person
and was
who-
like, huh.
Yeah,
Like, that's
Akari is
weird.
the only one
Okay.
who has had the note translated and had Lumi translate it for
Yeah.
her.
It was when you found the wolf charm after you found the note that's when you got the memories
Right.
back. So.
So which note?
Anyway, the original note, the delivery note from way back then. It might.
Yeah, it would be in our notes channel.
Mm-hmm. Where's our notes tab?
Good luck.
It's in Homebrew stuff if you're looking in the private server, but in our group server... Hey, cat! Stop that. In our
In
group server...
the cat stole.
I think it's in the player handbook category in letters and notes or something. Should be up at the top, I believe.
Blanks.
No, not in your folders, in the
Oh.
Discord. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
that's say
I will just send you the picture of the note if you want. I'll
that
send it
would
to you
be
guys.
easier because
Oh my
they
gosh.
very
So organized.
it is very organized, but I don't know where it's organized.
Okay, well, I'm
Mr. Lordum.
reposting the image of the letter in semi-important chat for everyone to look at if you want to. She's some.
What?
Oh my gosh.
I know I had it somewhere. I don't know where it went.
I even told you exactly where it
I
was
meant
in two
I
different
had it-
locations.
I had it saved somewhere on my
Yeah.
computer.
That one, if you were looking in your folders, it would be in, I think, items and then
Where I got, but
letters
I
and
couldn't
stuff.
find it. Anyway, oh, there it is. The note that everybody knows
The
about
note.
that we were talking about.
Hmm.
Anyway, continue.
He will take the note out and he will hand it to. Do you know how to read?
Which one of us?
Demira.
Why do I feel like you've asked for that before?
Yes, you have asked me. Yes, I can read.
Okay.
Just every morning. Hey, Demira, you still know how to read, right?
You still remember how to do this, correct?
As
Yeah,
long as it is in Hylian or Shiekah, I can read it.
He will
And
hand
hands
over
it
the
to
note.
me? Okay. She'll sort of read it somewhat aloud, but quietly. As usual, I'm only going to tell you this once. Follow orders unerringly. Mistakes will not be forgiven on a job of this caliber. The cart will be packed already when you arrive. Double check that all is secure and accounted for. Memorize the delivery route and burn the map. Do not stray from the designated path under any circumstances. Do not deliver directly to... Do any of you know what this symbol means?
No.
No idea.
For funsies, Lumi's going to cast Comprehend Languages and touch the paper to see if that's just a
If it's
symbol
like
or
a
if
different
it's
language or something, yeah.
she's doing it for kicks and giggles.
It is not. Seems to be some kind of code cipher or whatever.
When Zom first gave us this letter, I took it and put it next to every rune to see if it was hidden in any of them, and it wasn't. I was like, darn. I was like, maybe I'm gonna be big brain right now. It wasn't.
Nice. Demira will just nod and continue. Take it to the snowbanks. The commission is one of a kind and irreplaceable. This thing costs the boss more rupees than you'll ever see in a lifetime. Keep your hands off of it. They want it delivered as soon as possible, so move carefully. A smooth delivery is a fast delivery. It would be regrettable if the shipment was not delivered in pristine condition. Understood? And she just looks at it and thinks it over for a bit.
Of course, for the record, we didn't rob whoever was doing the delivery.
In our
The
defense,
Lino did. You had to fight a Lino when we found you and note with it.
I almost died twice, so I felt entitled to whatever was left from the dead people.
Oh, Corin, that is.
Ugh.
You're saying that directly to her.
And
I was
she was
entitled to
left.
you.
And she was left by the dead
She's more
people.
concerned about the other part.
Yep.
River's
Why-
like, she's a person. We know this now. You can't just say that about a person. That's called slavery, Velkorin.
It's not a war crime the first time, okay?
Oh my god.
Jesus.
First time you get a warning.
Yeah, first time you get a slap on the wrist. The second time you try to own somebody, they
I
go,
didn't know
no,
she
no,
was
no, no."
alive.
Holy smokes.
I didn't know she was a real girl.
Really sours all those touching moments when you're like, I'm entitled to this.
I mean, people owned Pinocchio. It's the same thing.
Jeepers cripes, man. That doesn't make it better, man.
Is this what you were referring to when you told me you've nearly died multiple times, or is this in addition to that?
Finally realized what he said.
Just stop talking and lean back.
She
So
has
when
like
we
this,
found you,
Iris
she
eyes
has this
yellow.
like really pouty, scolding look at you, like
so like Akari said, when we found you, you were a broken weapon. Surrounded by a broken carriage, right?
Yep.
A couple
Yes.
broken carriages and dead people.
Yeah, destroyed
Lot of rubble.
caravan. It looked like the majority of the caravan was war weapons for soldiers and such. It looked like a military delivery.
Munitions.
Yes.
I
A resupply thing, with the exception of the fancy box that you found that most likely held the beer.
I do vaguely recall the battle that felled me beforehand. Zom, would you like to remind them that there were 2 boxes of fancy weapons and one of them was empty?
No, because you guys didn't look for the second box.
I
found
thought
the
you
second
described it to
box.
them. You told
Yeah,
them.
I
you
did.
told me about it. It was crumbled.
That's right.
and
It was
empty,
completely
and so-
destroyed. One.
The DM can't
I
follow
can't remember
you
my own
telling them
shit.
specifically
It's
where
been a
an item
year and a
is.
half. Leave me alone.
They're not gonna
Jesus
remember if
Christ,
we
man.
talked about a box.
If I recall,
I remember the box. You said it was fully destroyed.
yes, the one for the second weapon was completely destroyed. The one for Demira was damaged, but it was enough to understand that that's where she was being kept in the box. But the second
Demira
one
does
was
not know about
completely
this yet.
destroyed. Yes.
I tried to investigate it, and you said it was too crumbly
Yes.
to gather anything from.
There you
So I
go.
moved on.
Well, I just gave you a crumb of information that you didn't know before.
Oh, I wonder if that's where the obsidian weapon was.
If you guys would like to share that with Demira so
If you're
that she has that
connected.
knowledge as well.
Well, sure, Vivra just said that. Why not?
Okay, thank you. I wasn't sure if it was above table or not. So Demira will nod in agreement to that. Perhaps it was. We may have been forged by the same person.
And they say not everything's black and white.
Ah!
Well, suppose that clears up most of that. There weren't a lot of clues, were there?
Not very many. Just made it sound like we didn't want whoever sent this note to necessarily get their hands on you.
Thank you. It seems more and more likely that they were not a good person. So it is probably best that I try to avoid them. I'm thankful to be in your company. I was also hoping to ask you, Velkorin, a little bit more about the Shadow's Hand. You had mentioned it, but I haven't heard of it before.
Normally, it would be good that nobody has heard of this. Just looks at Lumi.
This is why she said if anyone wants to decline a question, they can, but this is a good way to get Lumi up to date with stuff.
Just
Ah,
stares
right.
at Lumi.
Lumi blinks just several times, and then she shakes out her wings and she flies ahead. Like she has no problem being left in the
No,
dark.
okay.
Oh, misinterpretation.
Get back here.
She takes that as Velkorin dismissing her, and she just.
I think
kinda
all he did was
flies
look at her
ahead.
so far.
I forgot she gets weirdly emotional around me. Lumi.
Velkorin sticking his head out the
Her
window.
default
"Get back here."
Her default is scatter.
And look, Malice gives her a specific look, and it means leave the room. She has only ever seen. She simply interprets Velkorin looking at her as that same look. They have had a conversation.
Before Lumi gets more than 30 feet away, you telepathically hear Demira going, "Wait, Miss Lumi, please come back."
Sorry, I'm just imagining Velkorin glancing tiredly at her to say good morning, and she goes, "Oh, I'm done."
I'll fuck right off then, I guess.
Say no more.
Jumps off a cliff. All right, I'm out.
Okay, bye.
Give me one. Ask somebody else a question. Somebody just rang my doorbell. I'm gonna be right back.
Oh, okay. We will roleplay Lumi returning to the group.
Guys, Lumi jumped. She jumped.
She can
Lumi,
fly.
please.
He has wings.
I don't believe you need to leave. It would be good if everyone hears about it.
She's gonna use, I guess, message. Probably.
You can return the.
Oh, she can.
You
return.
can reply if you want.
Okay.
Yeah, Vivra's the only one with one-way telepathy.
She's just like, if If it's not something that he wishes for me to know, then it's not something that he wishes for me to know. It's not important that I know everything about the whole group. And Demira, since she's getting that back as like a mental response, she'll notice that the voice that Lumi uses when speaking out loud is different from her mental voice. It's a lot less articulated and put together, and it's less smooth. It's like it's more of what you would expect like a 20-something young woman to sound like, instead of someone who's trying to maintain a certain appearance.
When you're trying to hide your accent from back home.
That's what.
Not quite, but okay.
That's the voice I need to hear.
Miss Lumi, I hope that he didn't make you feel unwelcome, but he mentioned this very briefly when we were having a meeting with Frederick and meeting you for the first time. So I don't believe he would have brought it up in front of you if he wasn't comfortable with you knowing about it. And we are a team now, after all. You're equally an important member of this group. I think that if any of us know, we all should. It is up to him if he wants to speak about it more or not, but perhaps he was just worried about revealing something. I'm unsure. But I would like you to return. If you're comfortable.
Lumi will make a little aerial circle, and while she's making her little aerial circle, she kind of scans the surroundings and then goes back to the group.
Demira will just give her a friendly smile as she returns and make room for her to land.
Akari will also give a welcoming smile.
Say, what's Akari doing? This. Why?
Why, she was listening and taking in the information.
I know.
She had her moment.
How's she feeling right now? I'm trying to stall. Help me out.
Yeah.
Lost in thought. When Lumi left, she was like, she had a shocked look because she didn't want Lumi to feel like she had to step out because, like Demira mentioned, Lumi's part of the team. She's not going to be excluded from things.
He's currently the leader of the team.
In her silly little mind, the boss dismissed her.
Imagine Lumi gets up and leaves, and everyone's like, "Boss, where you going?" And everyone charges after her. What'd you see?
Who's driving the caravan again?
Well, I would assume Lumi was.
Oh.
I thought that we walked. We walked out. I thought that we were walking because the last thing I heard was that Demira went and fed the horses, and then we walked out of the Lavender Inn.
Oh.
We took the carriage out. Our ever-changing, ever-confusing carriage. Are we in it? Are we not? What does it look like? How many windows does it have? Is it covered? Is it not? Who knows?
It will be
this
different
time
next
it's borrowed
session.
from Eli, I think. So this one isn't even ours.
Scrooginger's
If Lumi was driving, she couldn't just get up and fly off.
That's what I was gonna say. She just dropped the ring.
We'll say
while
Velkorin was probably driving
Akari,
then. Or Akari. Somebody was driving.
We've got a little window wide open, so that nobody's separated from the conversation. Whatever makes the most sense is what it is.
Just casually hands the reins over to whoever's sitting next to her and just
gives the reins to the other horse.
Oh God!
Take over. You two babysit each other. Puts the reins of the one horse in the other horse's mouth, and the reins of the other horse. Drive yourselves.
Jeffrey, you are the leader now.
I think Jeffrey's dead.
Jeffrey Apples.
I don't remember. You had Hercules.
I was gonna say with Vivra's survival score, she could be a passenger to help lead, though we are 30 minutes from the place, so
Yeah, I mean, it's
At this point,
follow
we're
the.
probably closer.
You're getting close
Yeah.
at this point, but yeah.
we're like 10 minutes out at this point, I would say.
If Velkorin chooses to share anything about the Shadow's Hand or Shadow Hands or whatever, then by the time he's done with that, we'll probably be at the city, at the town.
What
Cool.
are you got?
I mean, we are at the
Yeah.
2-hour mark. Does anyone need a break?
That would have been a good idea.
Yeah, that would have been the smart idea. But sure, let's take a quick bathroom break while we wait for him to get back.
As soon as you put the BRB
Right,
screen up,
he'd be
you'll
like,
be
"Oh,
like, all
I'm
right, I'm
back."
here.
Yep, I'm here.
We'll
And
be
then
like, get out of here.
none of us will be here. We're all gonna go to the restroom.
So we will
All right.
be right back in 2 minutes, maybe.
That's okay.
You know, I am underestimating myself. Whatever. Bye. And we're back.
Welcome back.
Yes, we having our amusing discussion with Lumi as she's been told to come back. Come back. You're flying away. Come back.
I
Oh.
already forgot that she was flying away. I was like, what do you
She
mean?
was-
Wait, no,
She was
carriage.
going to their destination. It was fine.
What was the question?
Demira asked about the Shadow's Hand because she had only heard him mention it and she hadn't heard of them before.
All right.
As
Um,
Lumi returns.
Lumi flutters back. Most people have not heard of them, and that's usually the way we like to keep it. The Shadow Hand is a much more of a private organization that gathers information and does most of its doings under the table. Which is why we only give people information and reveal ourselves to people we believe we can trust.
I see.
But
What?
most you go.
She was just gonna dig for more info. What is your goal? What do you do?
He's gonna look around at everybody.
They call odd or even.
Uh-oh.
Odd.
Resist. But you felt the twinge of somebody trying to poke you, but you locked back.
Our goal is to create a truly united world. Even if that means we have to pull out a few of the weeds on the way.
Above table in normal D&D terms, it's basically this world's version of a rogues guild.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
It's the rogues and it's like a rogues and assassins guild put together.
Information, rogue, assassin, guild, all
Yeah.
together.
The
Vigilantes.
it's like the Shadow Broker from Mass Effect, if you ever played Mass Effect.
Gosh, it's been a long time.
And is that the vibe he's giving with his description of it?
Yeah, mainly they're gathering information. All he's done so far in this group that Akari has seen and Vivra has seen is essentially that he's very good at getting information very fast.
Mm-hmm.
So does us knowing about it, that doesn't mean we have to be part of it now, right? It's not that kind of like dark organization.
Now I have to kill you all.
Well,
Either you join or I
so
kill
it
you.
would seem that you have just drink. It's
Drinking.
already dranketed. Has already been tainted enough. You're all under the spell already. You've all been dead since session 1. This is all
Aw.
figment of your imagination.
Jeepers Christ. The Vivra does ask that though.
No, not everybody needs to join. I have spoken to a few people of joining while we have been on our travels, but there's no reason for anybody to be forced to join. Also, with the way people tend to handle themselves or can handle specific situations, you might not be a good fit.
Yeah, I could take offense, but I agree.
You would have to be okay with killing people at any
yeah.
given moment.
Yeah, no.
Demira's eyes widen a little bit at that, and she just shrinks away slightly.
And some people are not okay with that, and that is fine.
Do you have a headquarters somewhere? How do you communicate or gather? I suppose that would be one of the biggest secrets, so perhaps I shouldn't ask.
That is
She,
something.
like, pokes her fingers together. Dumb
Hey,
question.
where are you all located? What's the pin number of all
Can you
of
dox
your...
everyone in your guild?
Where is your location located, and how close do I need to get a landing party to get there before
Can
you
you just
notice?
plug it into my
What's-
GPS here?
What's your IP
Pulls out
address?
a table and clicks on the table lamp, pointing it at Velkorin's face.
That information is something we may discuss in time. But for now, all you need to know is we exist. And we are currently here to help.
Yes, I'm sorry for asking that.
Find that while you guys were gone, the Shadowhand started to be a little more open about their existence. Or disappeared for a year now.
Yeah, they were kind of like put into a tough place.
They were following his plan,
If I
making them
die,
look like the good
stuff.
guys.
We are the good guys, okay?
All right,
As per your
making
belief.
yourself present as the good guys too.
all I'm saying is Germany in the 30s looked to be good guys for a little bit, okay? At least to
Oof.
some people.
Oof.
Anyways.
Did you just compare
Oh,
the shadow hands to that?
Yikes.
Let's say he
Yeah.
didn't.
So Velkorin's like, hey, this organization that I lead, we're like those guys.
Oh
Yikes.
no.
No, no. It's
How
more
to get
anybody
kicked out
can
of the
look
group.
good in any like it doesn't matter your situation, you can look good.
Right,
Oh, I am in a
right.
tornado watch. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Hmm.
Careful. Are you good to keep going
Anyway.
though?
Yeah.
Okay, so okay.
I just got a message from people 1,000 and some miles away asking what if we're in a tornado warning.
Oh.
I'm like, I don't fucking know.
Probably. And it's that area.
How do you know when you're over 1,000 miles away?
I don't know. I don't hear no sirens, I guess.
Mean.
DM.
What?
Is Demira noticing any discomfort between Lumi and Velkorin?
Lumi, are you uncomfortable?
I guess that's the
Lumi
question.
is
Ask them.
generally okay.
Lumi's what?
I'm gonna say that Lumi is probably trying to do deception on being uncomfortable if Demir is looking for discomfort.
Okay, you will likely almost guaranteed succeed unless I get a natural 20.
I was about to say, I guarantee I will
There's
too.
no way I'm beating that.
You have inspiration.
Inspiration.
Yeah, good
Oh,
luck. Her deception
Natural
roll-
10.
Yeah, her deception is a 28, so no.
Ooh.
She's,
Oh.
Damn.
that
Yeah,
was
so
a 16, so
Demira's
yeah.
oblivious to Lumi's discomfort around Velkorin, except for the fact that she thought she had to leave. And I don't know if Velkorin is showing any, I don't know, anything towards Lumi.
No, just I looking at Lumi originally was this. I know this is gonna get out, but I know who it's gonna get out from when it does.
That's why she left. He assumed she was being dismissed.
You mind if I write a song about this?
you mind if I just read a song about you and the organization you have that's designed to overthrow kings and assassinate people? I
Like,
mean,
that's
sure.
where
He
all
left
of your
those parts
thoughts
out.
went, and not that she would just tell Malice. I love that you immediately thought, "Oh, she's going to tell the world." No, the person she would tell is
Velkorin knows for a fact
No,
that
she's
you're
gonna
gonna tell
tell.
Malice, right?
He's gonna tell Junie, and Junie will tell the world.
Yeah.
But it's just like
Junie will tell the world.
at this point, you also understand that he didn't shoo you away when he gave you this information. So, kind of above table, he knows who you're gonna tell,
Yeah.
and he knows that Malice also needs information.
Hmm.
They can
He-
feed each other
They
information.
they literally can feed each other, and he's putting out breadcrumbs to
Here you
Oh
go.
my gosh.
let's see if they bite.
Sorry, breadcrumbs to the bird person.
I was gonna say chum in the water, but the chum in the water wouldn't work as bread to the bird yet.
Malice and Velkorin are the same person.
They really are.
Different font.
That's why they hate each other.
Yeah. I
Oh,
guess
they
so.
see a mirror.
They just don't trust each other.
I know you're up to no good because I'm up to no good.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What do you got there? A smoothie. How about you? Another smoothie.
Another smoothie.
Yeah.
And Lumi is the ostrich in between them.
Meanwhile, they have a gun pointed at each other.
Yeah. Like they can't see it because the ostrich is in the way.
The ostrich is Lumi.
She has a gun in both of her ribs, like, oh shit.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Anyway.
At this point, since we're kind of not at the town yet and we've been in the carriage, does Velkorin already have his mask on or no?
If we're getting with closer to the town, he won't put it on until he starts seeing other carriages or he knows they're close.
Okay.
Because
then
they're in a closed cart, right? Like
Yeah.
we've discussed this so many
whatever you
times
want to believe.
that I can't remember
Time
if
it's
we have an
Eli's
Oregon
cart.
Trail
It's not our
cart.
cart.
It's Eli's.
Yes.
Like I can't remember if they have an Oregon
It is
Trail
enclosed.
It is whatever
if it's
it
like-
is.
It is like
Parked
an actual
again?
carriage like wagon now.
Oh, it's like wood and stuff.
Yes.
With windows.
I remember we sat here for like 30 minutes one session
Uh-huh.
and discussed the carriage.
Every single time, and then we
Mhm.
finally got it down, and then our carriage was destroyed, and we had to borrow Eli. So now
Yeah.
we're back to square one.
Mhm.
I still
Um,
think about the time that I thought you said the entire thing was tarp.
so as we're getting closer to town, Demira's gonna just kind of idly brush Velkorin's hair into a ponytail again, or maybe like a loose bun, and hand him his mask. And as she's doing that, she just sort of smiles at the group and says, "Everyone's hair is getting longer. It reminds me that I've been in your care much longer than it feels. It feels like such a short time, but and then she kind of peeks out and looks around and figures she should probably disguise herself as well. So I'll cast Disguise Self. And this time she's like a short, curvy Hylian girl with like pastel green hair and like gold yellow eyes and like cute little frilly button-up corset dress and stuff.
It'll call for it.
Wow,
pretty.
Roll a history.
roll a history check.
Ooh.
I think it's the first time I've rolled in like 3 sessions. Like,
We've been doing a lot of roleplay.
and
Have inspiration too. Hey.
history. Oh yeah, I definitely need it. Not great. 12.
Right. Well, with a 12, the only thing you're gonna get is you have an odd sense of deja vu when you look at the girl that Demira changed it to. Like,
Wait, what?
you had an odd sense of deja vu when you looked at the girl that Demira changed into.
I've got the fucking deja vu song stuck in my head.
Deja vu.
Yep.
And now you guys are
So, like,
drifting the
he's-
cart.
So he's perhaps. Never mind. I'm not saying anything.
Yep. He only rolled a 12, so that's all he's getting. Anyway, continue what you guys are doing.
Well, I assume we're at town now.
We're hopping out.
But at this point, you guys are making your way.
Make my way down.
I gotta change the music. As you guys kind of start to make your way into Kakariko Village, you do see it is relatively earlier in the day right now, so probably 10 a.m. or so. Pretty early still. Well, not late morning, early afternoon, whatever. You do see a couple people are out and about. There's plenty of houses all over the place. People are wandering around, kind of doing their morning routines. You can see a couple small farm patches that seem to be, obviously, crops and such are there. So, like carrots and corn and also random different gardens, I should say, gardens instead of a farm. A lot smaller. But, it definitely looks like there are a lot more houses than people right now, but it's definitely there's people wandering around, kind of doing their own thing. They do notice, some people do notice as you guys' carriage kind of comes in. They're kind of giving you the look to see who's showing up. But as you get closer, there is no gate because this village is basically open to whoever wants to come in. You do, like I said, the bulk of people here are Shiekah. So the white hair and red eyes is the most common trait you do see. Couple different places you can see marks and such on the doors that the only one that might understand them would be Akari. And
I speak Shiekah
you speak Shiekah as well.
for some unknown reason.
Yes, for some unknown
It
reason.
came with my programming.
So anybody who can read Shiekah can understand that the symbols on the door seem to be family names. As you guys are kind of, I assume you're just gonna kind of, are you guys gonna stop and talk and do people, or are you just gonna kind of keep moving?
Demira she's curious, so she'll be looking around, but she's also looking for road signs for like which way to Death Mountain. Also, maybe looking at leaves and flowers and stuff for collecting.
For the most part, it's just kind of, there aren't like, there's wildflowers every once in a while, but there's nothing fancy worth keeping, at least, that you can notice. Every once in a while you do see a couple houses that seem to be a little more unkept, as if like they not necessarily abandoned, but well, abandoned would make most sense. There's quite a few houses that seem to be unkept, not super terribly, but it definitely shows, if somebody's been gone for a week or two, that the lawn is a little bit longer, there might be a bit of dirt and dust on the windows, etc. So that's the only noticeable thing you do see. You see a couple Shiekah children probably running around and playing with each other, doing their own thing, playing tag and such. But for the most part, everybody's kind of keeping to themselves, not really stopping your guys' progress. You can make the assumption that if you keep following the path, you'll get to Death Mountain eventually. But you guys are free to interact with other people if you would like, or continue onwards.
Vivra's looking around too, but since this is a task for Lumi, I would assume Lumi's in the front leading the group. Because Vivra's not been here. I think. Go
was gonna
figure.
say,
The two who haven't
where-
been here before are the ones looking around.
Yeah, where is everybody sitting currently?
So I thought we were walking now. Are we
Are
At
still?
this
walking,
point,
sitting.
Demira stepped out. She's still kind of, well, she's still kind of close to wherever Velkorin is, but also kind of distracted by things.
Distracted curlies.
Yes. Who's driving the cart still? Then
Did we not park?
I don't know.
I
Are you
thought we
parking or you keep
parked.
walking?
It's parked.
It's
It's
parked.
parked and we're walking.
All
I
right.
decided it for everyone.
This
Yeah.
is
Why
also
not simply-
it
I
also
declare-
simply ride a carriage into
I declare.
Death Mountain.
yes, it also would
I
make
do
more
declare.
it would make more sense to stop the carriage considering you're going to an active volcano or dormant
Yeah,
active volcano.
Yeah, can we
A
not set
dormant
another
active
caravan? Can we not set another caravan and set of horses on fire, please? And thank you.
Yeah.
Probably a good idea. But you can that's a good point. You probably would make the assumption that you'd probably want to leave your carriage and continue on foot from this point. Because obviously you're going to get to a place where it's very hot, and wood does not agree with hot.
Question.
What?
How many horses do we have?
Who?
Okay. And these are not our horses, right?
Or Eli's horse and carriage.
All right. When we put them in the stables, I'm gonna say, I'm gonna let the person know that, because I'm assuming Eli's gonna come and pick up the horses at some point while we're traveling on foot.
Most likely, yeah.
The horses' name are Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
All right.
Somewhere in the distance, Eli's like, "No, it's not. Damn you!"
This is Reginald the Third, and
I was gonna go Reginald, but I know I've used Reginald a lot this
that's why
campaign
it's the
already.
third.
Reginald and,
Oh.
and Frederick, but I can't use Frederick because it's an actual character name.
You could.
All right, we will.
I feel like Eli would do that just to be like, "Hey, Frederick, this is Frederick the horse."
Jefferson, son of Jeffrey.
yeah, Jefferson. All right. So we'll say as you guys are stabling the carriage and such, I'll see. Corin, you after a few minutes, you do hear someone pipe up to you and say, "Oh, Corin, is that you?"
Mm-hmm.
Oh. As you turn around, you see a younger Shiekah man. And I don't think we wrote it in here. We didn't, but he's a younger man with longer white hair. He has orange eyes instead of the red eye, and he has a slight scar on his eyebrow. Yeah, I can't. Him. Anyway, the person, this is Renji, who you know is working for you. He's mostly been not a super well-off combatant person, though. Where is him?
Who are you looking for? Renji?
Renji. Oh, found him. Boop.
Good
Okay.
job.
I
Proud
cannot
of you.
find. I found it. It just took me. Thank you for reminding me to update that. I'll do that
He
tomorrow. I will
looks
do
like
that
an edgy
tonight.
boy.
But anyways, yes. The boy walks up to you and says, "Oh well, I didn't know you would be coming by here soon. What's going on?"
We arrived a little quicker than anticipated.
He's like, "I assume a lot quicker, didn't you? Weren't you guys like just in Zora's domain? That just happened like yesterday. How did you get here so fast?"
through some magical means of one of my current companions. A friend of hers was able to get us here a lot quicker than normal.
Sure, that's definitely advantageous. Yeah. Anyways, I happened to also just be here to take care of my grandmother, but saw that you were arriving, so I figured I could offer
You're
any.
cutting out a bit on my.
Cutting it, yeah,
Not
just
quite a lot.
Okay. I wasn't sure if it was only me or
I don't
not.
know. Internet might
Yeah.
not like me for some reason, or I'm being too quiet again. That's both.
Yeah, maybe.
Both things are possible. He's like, oh well, good. Glad that you made up some extra time. I actually was here visiting my grandmother, so I didn't think I would actually catch you while I was here. But good to see that. Good to see you again. He is one of your newer recruits, or I should say, at the time of when you were here, he was a newer recruit. So at this point now, he's got a couple years. He's mostly been a information gatherer for you, / looking out for people to potentially recruit. So, not necessarily a recruiter completely, but at least looking for potential people for you. He is a
Demira
workaholic.
is near Velkorin, so she just curtsy bows at him at Renji. Well, and then goes back to kind of like looking around at things.
Yes. I assume if you're here, you are traveling further up to Death Mountain.
That is our current goal, yes.
I guess is a. Oop. He's like, forgot where he was in a moment. He's like, probably best for us to go a little quieter or up the mountain at least. People can't hear.
You're cutting out so bad.
Why am I cutting out? I shouldn't.
He wants to go talk somewhere private and quiet.
Yes.
So that other
Yeah,
people
I'm
don't.
sorry.
Okay.
It must be. Okay, well, I'm still jumping on. Not Discord, so hopefully it's working on the stream at least.
Going to look at the rest of the group is kind of doing their own thing.
Yeah, Demira's near you, kind of just looking around at stuff.
I think Vivra's staying nearby because she's not been here before, so she's not entirely sure what she should do.
There's definitely plenty of exploring for if you want to, but you guys are also aware that you're on a job. Make reference.
Miss Lumi, Akari, Vivra, perhaps we should go look for forageables? And that way Velkorin can speak to his friend in private.
Herbs and things?
Lumi produces her book that she's got like all of the blue potion stuff marked in that roots and mushrooms book. That seems like an excellent idea.
Doesn't hurt to get more supplies at all, so we can definitely do that.
Maybe I'll find more ingredients for more health potions too.
So Demira will lead the ladies away.
And then I guess Frenchie will lead him to his house, or his grandmother's house, I should say. Enter in your. I guess we'll do Velkorin's first, because that makes more sense. As he enters in the house, it's a very modest house, so definitely it's very clean, because obviously he's the one that's been helping his grandmother lately, as well as just, I mean, keeping his house clean. Anyways, you can see the grandmother seems to be in the back on her in a rocking chair, just kind of hanging out, and just looks up as you guys walk in and just smiles softly and says, "Oh, you've brought a friend with you, have you?" And she's just like, "Yep, Grandma's actually my boss, so don't worry about us. We'll just go upstairs quick. And he leads you upstairs where you can have a bit more privacy. But so he speaks up and he's like, so as far as I was told, you guys are helping Zora, right? That's why you were supposed to go to Death Mountain. I just recently got the information from Eli. I just saw him yesterday, actually.
Of course he is.
Yeah,
Of course he's already here.
of course he is.
Oh,
And what
I've
she's
looked
like,
a little
oh,
personal
also
before.
he had me get something. He dropped something off for you as he goes into his closet and gives you a bunch of basically the list that you gave him earlier. He already filled it up for you, so all your fabrics and such that you were looking for, I think. I can't remember exactly what was on the list off the top of my head, but
I am grateful for this, but
right.
I
He
don't
looks at
have
your
a
missing
way.
arm and goes, right, right.
I can't carry this right
yes.
now.
I will bring this with you when we leave, and we'll go with that. Awkwardly is like, oops. Oops, forgot about that. But anyways, Eli gave me a small bit of intel on the Gorons right now, which is really good for you to know. But unfortunately, they seem very aggressive towards outsiders right now. So it might be something to be aware of and be careful. We're not quite sure what was going on yet because we haven't gotten a whole lot of intel yet. Like I said, you are very early, so don't have a whole lot of information outside of, for some reason, the Gorons have been very aggressive with outsiders and not really wanting people to be in the town, disrupting them right now. Just keep that in mind. I think they're still kind of allowing people to come in and out, but they are very almost hostile to some people, so be careful. I don't know what's going on quite yet, but we'll obviously keep doing some research, but obviously you're already here, so you'll probably learn before we do.
I'm hoping it goes smoothly, but with my current group, things rarely do.
Well, I've heard based on some of your most recent adventures, especially considering you've been disappeared for as long as you did. So it's odd here. This town itself, I don't know why, but it feels like it's been a lot quieter here than recently. But nothing's really changed. But it's odd. But more things I'll have to look into. But just to kind of let you know, I kind of intend to stay here a bit outside of taking care of my mother. Just kind of trying to figure out what's going on in the area here. Obviously, making sure the Shiekah don't get into any trouble here is probably the best bet for us, especially with what we are planning.
He's gonna pat Renji's shoulder.
You are also
He's now learning to, like, be more personal with people.
yes. He kind of looks at you a little awkwardly because he was like, oh. Also, you are a good 2 feet taller than him, probably.
Yeah, it's like Shaq just patting a normal human being.
Pretty
The
much.
hand is as big as his torso. Keep us updated on everything going on here. And if you need any assistance, let Eli know.
So, just as a slight warning, because I'm aware of my friend here, and I'm aware of her family, if you see was she Hylian or Shiekah?
She's Shiekah.
She is Shiekah. Okay. You see another young Shiekah woman with peach-colored hair. her brothers and father are extremely protective of her, so if you like to start things, just be careful.
Peach-colored hair. Do I have this one in my notes? I don't think so.
You might have one or two of her brothers. I don't remember off the top of my head. Look again. But
Avoid small pink-haired girl at all costs.
avoid bothering small peach-colored hair girl. Her name is Peachy. She has 7 brothers, I think. 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, 7 brothers. And her father, so 8 people.
And her best friend.
And her best friend, which is me.
I remembered Nisha had
Oh,
pink
Renji's
hair,
not
so
her
I had to
best
check
friend.
that it wasn't
I thought Renji
Peach.
was.
I'd have been like, what a
Purple-haired
plot
guy is her best friend.
Purple-haired guy is best friend. Right. He
Renji
was
is
friend.
childhood friend.
Right. Renji was childhood friend. Got it. Yes, yes, yes. That's
By your warning, I am going to assume that means she likes to cause trouble. She might appear in front of me doing so.
whether she likes to or not. Causes trouble, unfortunately. But mostly the brothers that cause the problems because they are very protective. So just be careful.
Noted.
Also, her father's the chief, so that's kind of the extra important part. But
better to know.
Yes. But anyways, I won't keep you. I know you're busy, and I will do my best to gather some more information while I can, and I will definitely let you know if there's any more potential recruits. But if there is anything you need from me, just let me know, or let Eli know, and he'll get back to me.
Just keep us updated on the town.
Sure. I'll be here for a while anyways. I think, unfortunately, my grandmother is getting at that age, and I would rather not be gone when she does eventually pass. She's getting close.
She's gonna just like awkwardly pat again.
Yep. It's awkward. He's
Take
essentially on
whatever time
hospice
you need.
care.
Yeah. Take whatever time you need.
Sure. Thank you, sir. Right. Being very informal, I apologize.
She's just gonna walk out and just leave. Like, yeah, I got another thing.
Yep. All right.
I'm emotioned out.
Are you motioned
Today.
out? No. No, you're not, Majora. Feel more emotion. All right. So while you're doing that, we'll go back to the girls. Are there any specific things you are trying to look for, or are you guys just generally looking for stuff?
Lumi is specifically looking for things to work in the blue potions.
Vivra
Looking for-
remembers that Lumi had shown her that, and with her herbalist / potion making background and stuff, she'll help with that, but she is also going to be looking for more ingredients to potentially make stronger health potions, or even like health potion adjacent stuff that might have different effects, as they seem to be getting into more and more dangerous battles as of late.
Makes sense.
Like regeneration or something. Whatever Okoku might have taught her that she can attempt to make or memorize on her own.
And I assume we're kind of sticking together as a group, so Demira's just going to be holding as many of the books as she can, looking through them, and she's just giving the help action by keeping an eye out and memorizing all the different plants and stuff. So she'll be pointing out anything she sees or describing it as they walk, things like that. So she's giving the help action to whoever wants it.
And Akari can also offer a help action by helping seeing if she can also spot it with her eyesight and stuff. It's
Yeah.
really bad.
Because she's super perceptive.
All right.
Yeah.
So we have one person looking for stuff that is specific to the blue potions. One person who is trying to just find materials that will help strengthen potions, and the other one is just looking in general.
The other two of us are helping, giving
Yeah,
help
helping.
action.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Vivra and Lumi both get to roll at advantage with the help action. Demira will also cast guidance on both of them if possible.
Oh.
It's concentration, so I can't do both actually.
Oh.
I will give guidance to Lumi because Vivra's stats are a bit higher.
Yeah.
So Lumi can add a d4 also.
This is some of the stuff that Vivra is more studied in, so it makes sense.
Right. So you have two people also helping you. You both are looking for somewhat specific things, but not super specific. Each of you can
Lumi's
make
more specific than mine,
Yes.
for sure.
correct. So it can, each of you can make 2 rolls. You can either do nature or investigation. Whichever one.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say nature or survival, but yeah. So nature for sure for me. And I'm rolling at advantage, or are you
Yes.
saying 2 separate?
Advantage and
Okay.
then 2 separate rolls.
Okay. Oh, that's a nat 20. So 27 total nature.
At 20s, that's already a huge thing for you. So you said 27?
Yes.
All right. And then my second roll was so much better. 14, let's see. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So that's an 18 for my first nature roll. Because I get that with advantage, thanks to one of them helping.
Oh, do you want me to do my second roll now as well? Or...
Yes, do
'cause
that one too.
that was my first advantage. They're both advantage, correct?
Yep.
Are they
And
both
Lumi.
nature, or is it nature 1, investigation the other?
Whichever, either do nature or investigation.
Okay.
And
I'm gonna
Lumi, you have
stick
a
with
d4
nature.
as well if you didn't add
Yes, I did.
that. Okay, good.
I needed it.
Okay. The second was 24.
Oh, and then I got a nat 20
Oh heck
for
yeah.
a total of 27.
Jesus
We're doing
Christ, both of you.
Well,
Your
I got
investigation is +7.
No, I got a +3 on the guidance, and then a +4 for my nature.
Gross.
Oh, okay. I was like, oh man, if you're the investigator and I'm the nature person,
No,
you're the one that's like seeing it, and I'm the one that's like, okay, this is how we dig it up proper, so we get as much as possible and stuff.
that would be nice, but
That'd be
no,
really
she's persuasion and deception.
Oh, right.
Fair, very fair for a bard.
Get ready for
That's
your...
what you got the druid for.
Yeah, tag team.
Tag team.
All right. I get a couple different things. Both gross. Pretty damn good. Good for you guys. We'll start with Vivra. I'll say you find a bundle of 3 swift violets.
You cut out
Here.
fully for me.
Discord is bullying me today. Yeah, because
You
see,
said
I
a
see
bundle of 3.
a bundle of 3. A bundle of 3 swift violets. So 3 bundles of swift violets. I flipped those around.
Swift violets is what they're saying.
I don't know why
Okay,
it's not.
thank
Yeah,
you.
it's Discord because I can see my captions working on
So 3 bundles or a bundle of 3?
3 bundle,
Okay.
as well as it did roll very high. You'll find 2 big hearty truffles, which very rare, but you rolled an ad 20, so good for you. And then, so those are the, and then you would find also just probably about, say, 6 bundles of Hylian shrooms. Then for Miss Lumi, who is specifically looking for the magic mushrooms, which she did with a 27 and a 20 of that. So, really bad for you, I'm sorry, but you end up with 5 magic mushrooms. Your good roll, which is very good. Those are very rare, unless you have a specific mask, usually. As well. Find 3 Endura shrooms as well.
Enduring
Well,
something. Let's
Yep.
see what's in the crafting channel. Let me find it. Try
Endurance
again. Mom.
Shrooms is what the stream said.
Endura
Okay.
shrooms.
Ah.
If Discord is behaving, which it isn't apparently. I don't know why, yeah. I shouldn't be cutting out. Whatever.
Yeah, it's just sometimes for some reason. Okay, yeah, Endura Shroom.
The Endura shrooms were for your 18. The magic mushrooms were for your 27. And for Vivra, the truffles were for your 27. And the...
For Vivra the truffle.
Yep.
Alright, well, okay. I guess the Discord is telling us we're almost done for the night because bullying me.
Well, we are 4 minutes away from when
Yeah.
I do gotta go.
Yep, that's fine. That is so. I will. If you can't hear what I'm saying, I will write it down for you because Discord is being dumb for some reason for me. I don't know why. But anyways, yeah. So you guys gather your few things that you found as well as the help from the party. Velkorin got his little bit of knowledge from Renji, just to know that the Gorons themselves seem to be more aggressive or something's wrong and they're not being as helpful as they normally are, which is very surprising because normally the Gorons are very friendly to pretty much everyone as long as you're respectful to them. So, assuming everybody heard what I just said.
I think
I heard
Stream.
about-
I
got Stream got it. I got about
Stream
half.
can hear you. That's what
Man,
matters.
what the hell is going on? I don't know.
Oh, no,
Whatever.
it's so bad.
That's really annoying. Anyways, since Stream is understanding what I'm saying at least, but with that, we will finish off here just because we're having issues and obviously my players need to be able to hear the DM so we can keep doing things. And Vivra needs to get going anyways because she's got a stream later on today anyways.
Yeah,
So-
I need to take a breather and find
Yes,
a cough drop. or
rest
something.
your sick throat. But yeah, so we will be back in 2 weeks as usual, and we will continue on from there and see what happens when our party gets into Death Mountain. But thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye!
Bye.
Bye-bye.